we celebrate her life, that she's lived to a life well lived.
Her name was Susan Carol Sewell Hughes.
She was never an imposter. She was genuine. She was real.
So many more words could be used to describe her. Devoted, loving, gentle, caring, sweet, generous, and the list goes on. She was smart. Of course she was. She was the valedictorian of her high school class. I would be a very lucky man indeed if I found a woman half as good as she was. She was worth my father's devotion, and to be worthy of such devotion is a very precious thing. She was a hero, working behind the scenes at the hospital, making sure the doctors had the right test results to make the right diagnosis. She loved to work very much. That even when she got sick, she was willing to work whenever she could. Education was very important to my mother. She realized its value. She kept education in its proper perspective. That piece of paper that folks call a degree doesn't make you who you are as a person. It's just a piece of paper. "30 years ago, Dad first met Mom at the Red Cross Blood Center in downtown Charleston, South Carolina. He saw this young woman with straight, long brown hair seated 3 rows in front of him. Like him, she was there to donate blood. Knowing if he would have any chance at all to talk with her, he would have to pump out his blood faster than she did. She was still at the refreshment table when she came by and sat right across from her. Conversation was struck up, and Dad was impressed. She was a Duke graduate, a medical technologist that worked at the same hospital he was born in, and only a few months apart in age. He ended up with her phone number and called her that night for a date the next day. That Saturday, Dad went to a coworker's house to get his car worked on. When returning home in the rain, Dad was involved in a 3-car accident that wrecked his car. He thought he lost any chance of a date with this charming girl. He called her up and explained the situation and to his surprise, she came by in her 65 Mustang Fastback. They went out to see a movie. 2.5 years later, they were married. The program she enrolled in at MUSC while she was a student there no longer exists. The reason why it no longer exists is because it was so tough that few people took it, so they dropped it. As a mother, she wore many hats, as mothers do. I took the liberty of looking up the definition of mother in the dictionary, and it was grossly inadequate. All it said was a female parent. Yes, my mother was a female, and yes, she was a parent. But if someone else were trying to find a definition for the word mother and was shown my mother, told to observe her, to find the definition, it would have come up with a lot more than just a female parent. To me and my brother, she wasn't just some mother, she was our mother. Whenever my brother and I would be disobedient, she would always quote scripture to us. "Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right." I got tired of hearing it. You think I'd have gotten the message? In our family, she was always the voice of reason. She would always be the cool head whenever tempers flared. I can count on one hand how many arguments I've witnessed between my parents. But she never ceased being my mother. She would often contact me while I was away at school to make sure I was doing everything the responsible adult should. And I wouldn't like it, but I put up with it because I knew that she did it out of love. Every time I would say something to her about it, she would always reply, "I'm just being a mother."
Even though she's outnumbered 3-1, I imagine it was more equal than it was at odds.
It is my strong belief that my mother was personification of the virtuous wife, talked about in Proverbs 31, verse 10 and following. In verse 10, it says, "Who can find a virtuous wife? For her worth is far above rubies." Lastly, I'd like to take a few minutes to talk about what was most important, her faith. It was no secret that Mom and I disagreed in matters concerning religion, but regardless of what I thought, she was dedicated to her church. She showed Christian values better than anyone I knew. She never had an unkind word to say about anyone. She always tried to find the good in every situation and everyone. She was very active in many aspects in whatever church she was a part of. In the Ridgeville Church of God, she taught Sunday school and led us in song every Sunday for a little while. Here in Sanford, she taught the girls in her Joy Bells class, and she sang her heart out in the choir. Her favorite song to sing as a solo, at least in Ridgeville, was Via Dolorosa. She would sing that around Easter time, and it was about the pain and anguish that Jesus suffered when he went through his journey to Golgotha. Her faith was strong. Nothing could shake it, not even when she was diagnosed with cancer. I only hope that I could meet death as bravely as she did. There were no doubts in her mind as to where she was going. Dad tells me when they first received the grim diagnosis that they tearily embraced. And her words, and the final words of this eulogy, are, "We win. No matter what happens, we win."